Morning, peeps. Good morning, everyone. Your boys literally just got back from Sheffield, and I mean literally just got back. The time is just coming up to 12 o'clock. So unfortunately, I haven't seen the other fights yet in full. Obviously, Boxer put on a card, Top Rank put on a card. I know the results, but I haven't seen them in full. It was just a case of fight card ended in Sheffield. We then do a post-fight wrap. I ended up getting back to the hotel at 1 o'clock in the morning. Normally, I like to have a bit of a drink, bit of a pizza, socialize, but you guys know I start my weight cut tomorrow, so we're trying to be sensible. Straight to bed, got the first train out of there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and here we are now. I told you that Charles Martin would cause Jared Anderson some problems. I said Jared Anderson would win, as we all expected it to happen, but I don't think many of us expected it to go all the way. I also said it depends on Charles Martin's gas tank. Obviously, this guy took the fight on 11, 12 days notice. And he clearly was in some sort of shape because he took Jared Anderson all the way. Credit to Charles Martin. Look, we'll talk about that fight and what next for both on tomorrow's video. Do they need to rein in a little on Jared Anderson? And what for Charles Martin? I think Charles Martin now has almost become, and he might not like this, but he's become a very solid gatekeeper now for these up-and-coming prospects. A very, very solid gatekeeper for those that think they're ready to take the next step to world level. For Savannah Marshall, congratulations on becoming a two-weight world champion. It was interesting to see Clarissa there. As expected, I guess she's there for two reasons. A, to support her friend Franchon. They are very, very good friends. And also to start the sell for the next fight. Look, Clarissa is not silly. She knows there is no other fight that generates money in the division, especially around that weight class, other than her fighting Savannah. The question is now, and I think Savannah said this in the post-fight wrap, pay me, send me an offer, and I'll come to America. Savannah will go to America. She ain't scared of going to America. It's just a case of Clarissa's last fight was on DAZN. Will DAZN see any value in paying Savannah and Clarissa big money for that fight to happen in the States? Or will Clarissa have to almost swallow her pride a little bit and come back over to the UK? Either way, I think it's a big fight. At 168, it could be interesting. Savannah was clearly a lot bigger than Clarissa at 160. 168, I think Savannah's going to be a lot bigger, significantly bigger. All right, anyway, we'll talk about both of those fight cards. Ben Whittaker as well. We'll talk about that on Monday. Let's talk about the fight card I was at very quickly in Sheffield. Decent fight card. I really enjoyed it. It was almost a next gen 2.0. So it wasn't billed as a next gen, but it felt like that. Guys like Hopi Price, Junaid Boston, Pat McCormack, we're going to talk about him, and Dalton Smith, almost those guys that Matchroom are hoping in the next 18 months are world level, maybe in Pat and Dalton's case, maybe even fighting for world titles, maybe. I want to quickly talk about Pat McCormack. Obviously, look, I'm very, very lucky to be ringside and watching guys fight, girls as well. Pat McCormack's one of, I think, the best prospects I've ever seen or been lucky enough to have seen ringside. He is just sensational. Like, I'm watching him and I'm just smiling. I'm smiling at how good he is. And it was funny because I spoke to Sonny Edwards after. So I was doing the post-fight wrap with Sonny and I said, look, Pat McCormack. And Sonny was like, when he was young, when he was like 10, 11, like, although I think Pat McCormack's a year older than Sonny, he said, Pat and Luke were the golden standard. Like, that was it. Like, everyone knew about them. Up and down the country, people just knew about Pat and Luke McCormack as like, well, these guys are special. And obviously, Pat's just gone that next level now. He's so good. Obviously, look, he's gonna have harder tests. I'm guessing he's gonna have a harder test next. But he made that look so easy. Just his punch variation. Clearly, he's got a bit of pop on the punch as well. So fast, razor-like jab. Just as clean as a whistle. And you know what he's got as well? He's got a bit of naughty in him. And you can't teach someone to be naughty. Like, he's a naughty, and I'm pardon my French, but he looks like a naughty little shit. So he's got that spite in him as well, where he just wants to hurt you and play around with you, then just fuck you up. And I think this guy will be fighting for world titles in the next year and a half, 2 years. I really do. I know that sounds a bit, but if they're talented enough, there's no point just him sort of playing around. Just go. Do you know what I mean? What is he? 27, 20? Go. Like, fuck, what we doing? He thinks he can make 147. He's been fighting at 154 pounds. I think his debut might have been at 147 or 149 or something. But he thinks he can make 147. He's big. I don't know if you guys saw the post-fight interview I did with him. So we're standing next to each other. I think he might be about an inch taller than me, and his frame, you can see that his walking around weight is quite solid. Big problem at 147. Honestly, big problem at 147. Again, I'm talking a big problem when Spence and Crawford are gone, and he'll be in the mix with Ortiz. I honestly do believe this. Ennis, potentially Shakur Stevenson, and some of the guys coming up from 140. But yeah, what a talent. Dalton Smith very quickly beat Sam Maxwell. I predicted that would happen. Happy that Sam was okay. Saw him after the fight. When you see a knockdown like that, you do worry for people, but he seems okay. Seems in good spirits. Just has to dust himself down, and if he wants to go again, he can go again. What's he, 33, 34? No shame in losing to Dalton Smith. My worry for Dalton going forward is those cuts. There's a lot of scar tissue now on both eyes. I remember interviewing him before the fight, and I could see the scar tissue over his left eye, and now he's got a bad cut on his right eye. So they're going to have to get a very good plastic surgeon, and that might be him out for the year now, or the rest of the year anyway. He wants to fight for a European title. There's a bit of an issue at the moment with mandatories for that belt. So this might be the time where he has a break. Dalton Smith, I believe, has fought, I think, 6 times in like 14 months. It's definitely 5 times within a year, but I think this would have been the 6th in 14 months. So I think it's okay to have a rest. I think that you know me, I'm always like fight 3 or 4 times a year. He's ticked that box and some. So hopefully he can just chill out a bit now and rest and come again. And then it was good to see the likes of Janae Boston as well. Hopi Price needed that win for me. Needed to look a bit more spiteful under Dave Coldwell, and he has. And Janae Boston's one to look out for as well. All right, and you know what I will say? Obviously, look, this is the beginning of Dalton. Some people are always like, how many were there, Addy? Like, what was the capacity? People like to have a dig at things like that. I'd say there's about 3,000 in there, but this is the start of it. Like, you're not going to get, unless you've got this crazy fan base, you're not going to get 3,000 following you at British level, and that's what Dalton was. Wait till he gets to world level, and I believe this guy can get the big numbers that Sheffield fighters get over the years. Kell Brook's a great example of someone of recent times. So it was a great atmosphere, some good fights, good energy, and I liked it. Again, for me, it was like a next gen 2.0. All right, where are we? This is the big news that we kind of expected, not been confirmed, but Eddie Hearn has obviously jumped the gun a little bit here. Eddie Hearn expects Tyson Fury to face Francis Ngannou in exhibition fight next. This is no surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise for you. It shouldn't be a surprise for anyone that has followed this story. There was a few reasons why we knew this was happening. Number one, Mauricio Sulaiman said he's not going to give Tyson Fury a mandatory, which is a joke. So Tyson Fury can basically have this exhibition and keep hold of his WBC belt and do what he wants then after this fight against Francis Ngannou. My big problem with this is, let's not act like there's not a queue of people wanting to fight Tyson Fury. Like, stop comparing this to Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor. Floyd had done his time. Floyd had done and ticked most boxes. Floyd was okay. Go and do your exhibition. You've given me so many good nights, so many nights of waiting up till 4:30 in the morning to watch you fight, so many nights of watching your 24/7 programs. Do what you need to do, my man. You're one of the greatest fighters of all time. Your resume tells me that. Tyson hasn't done that. So you haven't done that. So I'm not happy with an exhibition fight when there's a list of fighters that you could be fighting. Tyson Fury, we know, does Wembley Stadium and the Tottenham Stadium like that. Does tickets. And even if the people were saying, Wembley was slightly, motherfucking can still sell 70,000 tickets. And I don't think he needs a great dance partner to do so. So Tyson Fury, we know, is a superstar on his own now. So people might say, yeah, but the Frank Sanchez fight won't make money. It will, because it's Tyson Fury. Andy Ruiz will, because it's Tyson Fury. There's a list. Just go down the list of people that are desperate to fight for the best belt in boxing, and it's getting held up because Tyson Fury wants an exhibition fight. What are we doing? What are we doing? Again, it's not like Tyson Fury has cleaned out the division. You know, like, if Tyson Fury had cleaned out the division, I swear to God, I'd be saying, right off into the sunset and do whatever you want to do. Have those exhibition fights. Do it. Because you know what? You've done everything. You've given me Usyk. You've given me AJ. You've given me Ruiz. You've given me Frank Sanchez. You've given me Joe Joyce. You've given me Zhili Zhang. You know what, brah? Your CV is so stacked. Have an exhibition fight against a guy who can't box. Go and do that. Go and make your money. But he ain't done that. He ain't done that. You know? He hasn't done that. Unless I can see, and obviously we're not going to be privy to see this, unless I can see that offers have been made to Hrgovic, Sanchez, Ruiz, and they've all been turned down, then fuck it. It's not Tyson Fury's fault, is it? I mean, if people don't want to fight him, they don't want to fight him. That ain't Fury's fault. But I don't believe that's the case. I don't think you guys believe that's the case as well. And by the way, I'm going to watch Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury because I think it's going to be carnage. But that's not the point here. The point here is the best belt in boxing history. Well, it's the Ring Magazine belt actually. But the biggest belt is the WBC heavyweight title. And that WBC heavyweight title isn't being defended because the lineal champion wants to go and have an exhibition fight against an MMA fighter who can't box. Can't box. I know he can't box. I speak to people who were there when Joe Joyce was playing around with him. Can't box. It's not on. Come on, guys. It's not on. Again, this isn't a case of I'm saying I'm not going to watch it. Of course I'll watch it. Of course I'll watch it. But I'm just trying to talk about, like, we were supposed to get Fury Usyk. Do you know what I mean? And now it looks like we're going to get Fury Francis Ngannou. Which, again, understand what I'm saying? I get it. It will do good numbers. It will sell out Wembley Stadium quickly. There will be intrigue. I'm so happy for Francis Ngannou because there's been a lot of talk about the fact that he's left the UFC and he's made that mistake and no one's going to pay him. He'll get more in this fight than probably his UFC fight history combined. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be shocked if he's made more than $8 million in the UFC combined. Be shocked. He'll get that. I think he'll make that money because there'll be huge interest. You've got basically the baddest man on the planet. I think John Jones is, but you could make an argument for Francis Ngannou. So the UFC heavyweight champion, really still, isn't he? You got that guy against the boxing heavyweight champion. Perfect. It's going to be marketed perfect. Two giants. One of them 6'8", 6'9", whatever. Tyson Fury weighs 20 stone. The other one 6'6". Was he around the same weight? These are two monsters, and it'll make money. But from a boxing standpoint, from a case of next man up standpoint, this ain't great. And there's even some talk. I think Eddie sort of said as well that it won't be Fury Usyk next because I think Fury's turned this down. I don't know. Eddie's probably talking too much here, but it'll be Wilder versus AJ, and on the same night Usyk versus Hrgovic. So much going on. Again, once we get more information, we'll talk about it. But it does seem as though it's going to be Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. What's your thoughts on it? Let me know. Wilder reacts to Ruiz's 50-50 demand. You ain't nobody compared to me. Stop that. See, this is why I really, really appreciated the announcement of Canelo versus Jamel Charlo. Nothing. No nonsense. No gimmicks. No A side, B side. You're worth this, you're worth that. Just fight announcement. Fight poster. That's all it was, wasn't it? It was a fight poster. We didn't know anything. No rumors, no nothing. No making videos, no this, no father saying this, no one saying that, just a fucking fight poster. Here now, we got fighters talking about their worth to each other. Like, can this not just happen behind the scenes and you just get the fight on? Can that not happen? Is that not allowed anymore? Crazy. Jeff Horn announces retirement, turned down 7-figure offer to return. How old is Jeff Horn? Did Jeff Horn recently lose to Tim Tszyu? My brain's a bit fried. Jeff Horn, 35. Yeah. You beat Manny Pacquiao, dude. That's always going to be in your resume. Yeah, it was Tim Tszyu. He got knocked out. When was that? A year ago. Oh, sorry. More than a year ago. Shit. Apologies. 2020. Okay, so he's basically been retired, but now he's officially retired. Well done to him, man. Again, no matter what people say, this guy beat Manny Pacquiao. And by the way, it was a Manny Pacquiao. This is what I think. And even if you thought it was close, this guy was still close against a Manny Pacquiao back in 2017. And the reason I say that is because that's a Manny Pacquiao who, after that fight, beat up Lucas Matisse, stopped him, beat up Adrian Broner, beat up Keith Thurman. Jeff Horn beat that version of Manny Pacquiao. You know how solid that is? He deserves way more respect than he gets. Way more respect. I think Thingy done him wrong. Was it Teddy Atlas that done him wrong? Talking about in the post-fight interview that he didn't think he won. Bit cheeky. All right, anyone else? I need to watch this Ben Whittaker fight. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people were not happy with his showboating. Like, I'm a big fan of Ben Whittaker. Bit of a character. Like, I remember when Prince Nassim Hamed showboated early. So people will say, oh, he showboated towards the end of his career. No, he didn't. I will go and watch Prince fights. Prince Nassim Hamed showboated early. Nothing wrong with it if you can back it up, as Prince did. If Ben Whittaker can back this showboating up, then no problem. If you can't, then yeah, people are going to come for your head. But either way, they're going to tune in to watch you either get knocked out or win. Perfect place to be. Well done to Tasha Jonas as well. I've not watched the fight. I have seen the stoppage. Sky didn't help themselves. They put a 30-second clip of the stoppage, and it looks like one of the most stupidest stoppages ever. But it doesn't show that the girl was getting bashed up beforehand and like what she lost every round. What's the point? Tasha Jonas now, what is that, a free-weight world champion, I believe? Is that correct? I think it is. Or is it a two-weight? Don't know anyway, but look, regardless, she's a multi-weight world champion. Good luck to her. What's her, I wonder what her fight is like. What's her big fight out there? Don't know. No idea. Before I was going to say Terry Harper. Don't know if that's a big fight. Maybe she somehow gets involved in this Sandy Ryan, Jessica McCaskill, Chantel Cameron kind of mix. Maybe there's something there for her there. All right. Again, very quick video. We'll watch all the fights tonight because I'm a boring individual and we'll react a bit more to them. I'm very keen to watch that Jared Anderson fight so I can give you my opinions on it because a lot of people are telling me this is the future heavyweight world champion. After that performance, a lot of people are saying maybe not. Pump the brakes. We'll see. Peace.